Mr. Cole?
Thank you. I'd note the bipartisan agreement on the object, if not the pay for, and I appreciate that very much because I think there is a lot of fear, and I think appropriate fear in this institution about setting up any kind of body that has this kind of authority, this range of power. I note in the message from the administration on the legislation, I want to direct this to you, Mr. Ryan, says partly that IPAB, quote, will recommend to Congress policies that reduce the rate of Medicare growth and help Medicare provide better care at lower cost. That word recommend strikes me as unusual. Is Congress going to retain the prerogative? Is this simply a body that will make recommendations, or
this isn't like MedPAC, which is something that we work with very closely, which sends recommendations to Congress, and then we choose whether to accept those recommendations or not. This was done differently in order to get the score they wanted so that they can get the money transferred from Medicare to pay for the Affordable Care Act. So the backstop of this is IPAB puts in its recommendations. Those recommendations go into law or into practice unless we, Congress, step in front of them with a supermajority vote, a 3/5 majority vote, replace those savings from somewhere else within Medicare. If we do nothing, then those savings targets, those recommendations occur. And so it's really, I think it's unconstitutional, but it's really undemocratic. And it is a way of circumventing the legislative branch of government, having unelected bureaucrats make these decisions, and they have to hit artificial targets every year. And with boomers retiring and the debt trajectory we have with Medicare, those numbers are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that means their price controls and cuts to seniors' benefits get deeper and deeper and deeper as time goes on.
I just wanted to make the point that seems to me recommend was, as you, I think, illustrated in your answer, way too mild a word to use. I mean, it would be almost impossible effectively to overturn these recommendations. So, and that kind of concentration of power, again, to me, ought to concern members on both sides of the House. So I look forward to legislation. I appreciate it being there. Maybe someday you guys can work together and find an offset that would work with Mr. Pallone's concerns, and I think those are legitimate concerns. But I think the power here is what bothers me the most, and so whatever offset's necessary, I'd be inclined to be supportive of it. So certainly look forward to seeing the legislation on the floor. Yield back.